would you want for it?
500 bucks.
Oh, yeah.
Sheldon.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone you know?
I could scare you.
Scare me then. Bit of a whirligig up here.
Go pick, Scott. Go find us a treasure.
Don't you know it's better to give than to receive?
So give me a good price.
It's always tough to part with a good item.
That's a beaut. I'm Scott Cousins,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and barns. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us.
Don't jump, Scott. It's not that bad. Beautiful morning. We're in Peggy's Cove, Nova Scotia.
Oh, you gotta come here. Check this out.
There's the big swell coming in.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. Let's head back up, grab the map, and take a look and see where we're going.
Nova Scotia, here we come. All right. Several picks
Okay.
up near Truro. We're going to Great Village.
Okay. See, look what you're doing to my map.
I should be driving this time.
Why?
You do the navigating.
Well, at least I can fold the map properly.
What about a little wager?
What are we betting on?
We should find something that's just the ultimate representation of Nova Scotia.
How about if we do this? We're on the ocean when we're making the bet. It's going to be something to do with the sea. It's not who gets it first, it's who gets the best.
Sounds like I should be the winner of this one, so I think I'd like the ultimate meal.
Well, I guess if I win, what are you going to buy me?
How about your weight in Nova Scotia brew?
I'm on!
All right. So we've got our route planned. Should be exciting.
We're heading over towards Grand Village because we hear there's a bunch of antique stores. There's a bunch of stuff that we may be able to pick something for ourselves.
Great Village was a fishing town.
What?
Yeah, and shipbuilding. Little Acadian village.
What's the story on the Acadians?
About 200 years ago, the French got kicked out of this part of the world.
Why?
They wouldn't swear allegiance to the king.
Okay.
And they moved them all. They located them down along the coast, right? The Carolinas, Louisiana.
Right.
So today's pick, we're going to see Claire. Claire's got a shop.
When you're going to an antique store, you just never know what you're going to find. You might find some really cool stuff. You might find nothing that you can buy. Oh, look at the nice old church. Wow, that thing's got to be 100 years old.
Oh, and the mist on the river.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Oh, wouldn't you love to be in there with a fly rod? This has got to be it. Let's check her out.
Oh, you're dashing, aren't you? You want to win the bet.
Afternoon.
Hey.
You look like real cowboys.
Hi, Scott Cousins. How are you?
Hi, Scott.
I'm Sheldon.
So what's the story?
I love buying. I love going out, digging through old attics, barns, garages, things of past. They're so colorful compared to the things that you see today.
We're picking for resale. Open to a
Yeah.
little bit of negotiating.
Oh, sure. It's wholesale for Calgary down here anyway.
Antique stores in this part of the world are for tourists. And generally there are high prices, but Scott and I are looking for that oddball piece that maybe is out of its market. Can I ask you about the wall pocket? That'd be a local piece, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go less than $185 on that.
Just great colors,
Yeah, I
blue,
love that.
nice
Yeah.
Ford decal. But 245 bucks?
Well, we've
Wow.
gone-
Scott and I were both a little bit dejected.
I'm not sure what that is.
Look at that. Look at the way it's made. It was one of those high chairs that folds down into a chair as well.
And look at the gears on the side of it here. Kid puts his finger in there, he's losing his whole hand.
I could take a pass on it.
I see this nice little perfume sign. Where did you get the Cody sign?
Seems to me that came out of the attic of an old house.
I can tell that it's old, 30s, 40s. If you're a perfume collector, that's a piece of advertising you want to put in your cabinet. Would you go 10 on that?
What have I got on it?
12.
Sure.
Okay.
Good deal.
Thanks.
A little icebreaker. What about this?
King Cole tea.
Yeah.
Doesn't have an image of the king on it, but it is King Cole.
Yeah.
King Cole is probably the most collectible advertising out of this area. Very scarce, very expensive. How much?
Like a $20 bill would take it.
Yeah, I think we can do 20 on that. I see Sheldon snooping around on the one side. There's not much more for me on this side, so I think, what the heck, I'll just go upstairs, see what there is upstairs. What you often find is big things upstairs, and that's what we found, was something really big and really cool. Bit of a whirligig up here. Got British decals on the bottom from the Second World War.
In Nova Scotia, it's almost a tradition to have a whirligig. It tells you the wind direction. It also gives you an indication of wind speed.
So what would you need out of that?
I could live with $100 out of that
To go 75?
on a rainy day.
It's a rainy day. Shake his hand, Sheldon. I'm too
right.
far
Why
away.
not? Why not?
75 it is.
75, you got a
Thanks,
deal.
Claire.
Well, I noticed you got a 5 Roses flower sign in the window. How much is that doggy in the window?
You could start at $350 and go from there.
Well, I'm gonna take a look at your 5 Roses flower sign. Rusted all the way around. And the guy thought he was doing everybody a favor by covering it up with a crappy paint job.
You're really starting to act like one of my customers.
Why?
Just picking it apart so you can get it really cheap.
No, I can't get it cheap enough. That's the problem. He told me $350 right off the top. I wasn't paying $350.
I could scare you.
Yeah? Scare me then. Like, really scare me.
Oh, it might be nice to see that somewhere else, so if I said I'd give it to you for $125.
I couldn't say anything except shake his hand.
Deal. Okay.
Okay, let's
Good.
go check the other shop out.
Good news was Claire had a booth in a group shop just across the road. Hey, Claire, you've got a nice piece of tramp art here.
Yeah, that's a neat piece. I haven't had that too long.
In the 1930s, when fellows had no work, but they occasionally could come up with little bits and pieces of wood, they crafted things into picture frames, wall pockets, and this particular one was a little tramp art box. What could you do for a couple of prairie boys on that?
It's 115. I'd say 85.
Could you say 75?
Sure, why not? You've seen everything in here. The only other place is my warehouse.
As we were walking out the door, we met a local picker by the name of Walter. He was going in with a couple of items, and sure enough, we struck up yet another deal. Walter had a telescope that he was very reasonable on at $50, and another little unusual handcrafted mahogany box, all slotted for 22 shells, and there was a little target as well inside the box. $20 couldn't go wrong. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure doing business with him. I'm pretty excited about going to the warehouse because he's told me he's got some advertising signs. When you get into the inner sanctum, that means you're getting into stuff that the person loves or hasn't priced. Nobody's seen it, and you're gonna get first crack at it. For the most part, I'm seeing the starting of a good bonfire.
Hey, that's about as crude a set of slots as I've ever seen.
Beautiful.
I've decided to start a history of skiing museum. These look like a pair of boards that some guy pointed at the ends, banged on a little strap of leather for the harness, and well, yeah, for wall hangers, they don't get any better than that.
$20 is the going rate for skis today here in Great Village. I guess you can have them.
$20 it is.
Yeah.
Spotted another sled. I seem to be specializing in winter sports.
You should start a sled museum, too. Holy cow. It weighed about 60 pounds. Man, could you imagine the speed you'd get going downhill on that?
Couldn't walk out the door without at least bargaining on it. What about 60?
I don't think I want to let it go for that guy.
What about 70?
You really want that thing,
He
Sheldon.
wants it, see?
No, well, 70.
$70, it's a deal.
Done.
I saw a little piece of wood on the way out. It was the top of a Victrola gramophone player. Sort of a nice thing, even just by itself,
The
isn't
sign,
it?
yeah.
What do you want for that?
Take that home for $10.
Why not, right? If nothing else, we can throw it in the fireplace.
Don't you dare.
We pretty much picked the warehouse, And there was one last shop that we thought, maybe there might be a buy or two left.
So you know the person that owns that?
Lenore, yeah, I spoke to her. I can get you in there.
The owner of the store's not there, but she's got somebody sitting in on it. Apparently, according to Claire, he's got the authority to sell everything, and he's gonna let us upstairs into the inner sanctum. That's where you're trying to go, was the inner sanctum. We ignored the store, went straight upstairs.
Grant's here, and I guess he's looking after it for Lenore, so I'm gonna leave you with him.
I walked up and he's holding on to a cane. Like I'm looking at this thing you got in your hand. So what can you tell me about this?
Okay, now I got that off an old girl down the road here, actually. It's probably 75 years old or so.
And that's just a big, ugly, diseased piece of wood
Exactly.
somebody carved out.
Yeah.
But it feels so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
The
does. It's
years
got
and
nice
years
wear
of
and-
wear and somebody holding it and rubbing it. I love canes. I've always loved canes. You got 25 on it. Would you do 20?
I think I could go 20 on that, sure. Why
Perfect.
not?
I think that's a $65 cane at a show any day. Oh.
Hey, I
you
spotted something good.
That is fun. Birds of Canada.
Birds of Canada. It's the sort of thing that would hang up in a classroom. She's got 35 on this one.
It's a rare item. I've never seen one before.
Can you do a little better?
Little, 30.
Done. Can't go wrong with something like that. That's a good item. I want to ask you about this.
Quite a nice ladder back, probably locally made, Colchester County. It's all oak.
Could you say 75?
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
great.
That's about as folksy as it gets.
That's a killer 1870s wall pocket. It looks like it should be cheap, but I'm guessing it's not gonna be.
150.
I'm gonna shake on that 150. I think it's worth that.
Is this a jigging weight?
Yeah, it's an old cod jig.
What would it take to buy that?
I'd like to get 25 for it.
20?
20? Yeah, we can do 20, sure.
Good. We'll do well on that. We should double up easy.
Can I touch this boat?
Yeah,
Very nice.
So would
Very
that
well
just be a toy some guy made for his son, or
I
would it
would
be
say
a model?
so. I don't think it would be a model, no.
It's got the brass hole here where the anchor comes out of it. The craftsmanship of that boat was wonderful.
Not only could you visually see the detail, but that just had quality written all over it.
The best thing in the place was the boat. I know we're going home with it. The only question is, what are we getting it for? Sheldon, what do you think?
I don't know, it's handcrafted. It is nice.
What would you need to get out of that boat?
Oh, geez, I don't know. 275,
Would you go 225?
225.
Leave a little room in it for us?
And throw in the cobwebs.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll toss that stuff in. Yeah, 225, yeah. that's
Excellent. That's a good piece. The boat was the closest we came today to that bet. Unbelievable the amount of work this person put into this little thing. It was almost there, but I know enough that I wasn't gonna say that I've won the bet because I would have got a slap in the back of the head.
That was a nice piece, but it's going to take something extraordinary for this bet to get decided.
I love this. It's big and the image is nice. That looks good on you, bud. That's just a fun thing to have, right?
We ended up having a good afternoon, good time.
Claire, thanks a lot again. I
Thank you,
really
Scott.
appreciate it.
Good to do
You too,
business with
Sheldon.
you.
You too.
Nice to meet you. Thanks, Claire.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we even got Claire to smile at the end.
We had a good time.
Hey, well, that was good picking.
Yeah, that was excellent picking.
I really like the Whirligig.
The more I look at it, the more I like it. And the more I like it, the higher the price is gonna be.
We're off to see Michael and Janet. They live in Halifax, and they're garage sailors.
Michael, I believe, has been collecting for 25 years. What's he collect? It sounds like 20th century collectible.
That's my bailiwick.
Yeah, that's why I thought you might be excited about this one.
Okay, slow down here. We are, I think it's this old green one right here.
Hello, welcome.
I'm Sheldon.
I'm Janet.
Hi, Janet. Scott. Hey, Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon. You'd be Michael.
What do you have, and why do you want to get rid of some of it?
We got a bit of everything.
and we've got too much.
Has anything ever gone out the door or just in?
We have a flea market once every 15
We have a
years.
street market.
And when was the last one?
About 15 years ago.
Let's see what you got.
Here we are.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff around here.
Where do we start?
It's far more fun for us to go to a yard sale or a flea market than it is to go to a mall.
What about that boot jack?
Go to it.
She's a recast.
How can you tell?
The original ones are just a little crisper in all details.
This is something completely different.
What's it supposed to be?
Quack.
Now I see it. That is the ugliest duck I've ever seen. One of the problems with this kind of a collection is these people are crows. They got lots of little things they picked up from everywhere. It doesn't matter whether it fits or doesn't fit. What is that they find a place for? I can't tell whether that was made 100 years ago or last week. And that's what we call a crow in the business.
I think that was a wedding present.
It's so nice, I just can't imagine that I could make an offer on it.
At this point, we're having some fun. I'm just scrambling to try and find something that I really, really like.
I was digging around somewhere and I saw this little bird.
That's a good piece of folk art. Be a float that would be used for lobster traps. And just typical Nova Scotia. And what's it gonna take for us to let this little seagull fly back to the prairie?
At least 500 bucks.
Yeah, I don't know whether to laugh or cry when you say that. Michael and Janet are an eclectic couple.
They've been collecting for 25 years.
So when you get into a place like that, you're looking for the diamond in the rough. What do you think, Sheldon? 30 bucks?
45, and you can give me 40.
How about 35?
Sure.
Excellent.
We have to make room, and sometimes it's good to let things go.
What would you want for this goofy little box?
What are you going to offer me?
It's got a patent date on it of, it looks like 1889. So are you prepared to let it go for 8 bucks?
10 bucks.
Will you?
Yeah, sure.
Sold. Thank you very much.
We have got a reclining, vibrating couch.
Really?
Yes. Which I think one of you should try.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, remember the bet.
Good point.
I'm hoping there's going to be a real good item. Seeing lots of little knickknacks, but we're still looking for that pearl amongst swine. Now that gives cheeseball a whole new meaning, doesn't it? Yikes. I'm always looking for something cheesy and kitschy, and there's nothing more kitschy than a naked woman telephone. Anyone you know?
There's a treasure.
Whew. I've never seen one. I've dealt in a lot of telephones. If I've never seen it, haven't done this for nearly 30 years, it's got to be scarce. Oh, oral sex. The erotica phone makes any conversation a sexual experience.
If you read on, it would say, sculpted by an Italian sculptress.
Oh, yeah, made by Michelangelo for the Pope.
You have to curl her into you.
I'm not sure I want to do that.
I think Janet might be a little kinky.
So how much would it take to pry the erotica phone
Well,
from you?
that I would take about 150.
Are you serious about that price?
Do you think that's too little?
Nope.
Would you consider 100?
I can't believe you said
It's
that.
just so unique.
It is unique, and that's why I wouldn't consider 100. I've never seen another one like it.
Even though I can't buy it right now because I think he's a little stiff on the price, I'm coming back to it later.
How about pipes? Are you interested in pipes?
I see a skull that I'm interested in. I love anything that has to do with the skull, and a lot of other people do too. I saw what looked like a little pipe head. What would you need to get out of the skull?
Oh, 15.
Done.
Oh, I see what you're after.
Speaker grill.
Could have been a speaker grill for a Pontiac car because that's very similar to the Pontiac design. That's just a neat thing. Get a nice piece of wood, screw it in, it's a piece of art. You can let it go for 25 bucks. That's, you know, it's just a bit or a piece. The only thing I'm paying for really is the Indian here and the design there.
Add 5 more bucks on, you've got it.
You are a painful man. You get to that point where I can't let it go. I love that thing. So So I'm gonna price that at $125 once it's put together. And if I don't sell it, I don't care.
If you look up in that little cabinet there, Scott, that is the magnifying glass that Sir Isaac Newton, when he magnified the apple, he discovered wormholes 2,000 years before the Enterprise did.
You tell tall tales. I wouldn't believe him if he told me that it was light outside. He has a story for everything, and he's got a poker face, that's a dangerous combination. What would you want for it?
20 bucks?
How about 15?
17.
14.
60.
15.
25.
15. 15.
1850.
You were already at 17.
Well, you went lower.
And then you went 16.
Yeah, but you went lower.
Okay, 12. 16. You went down as low as 16?
1650.
Maybe Janet and I will go for tea and you fellows duke it out.
I liked it because it was real primitive. What do you think, Sheldon?
I'm glad you liked it. Oh, yeah. Janet wanted me to try on some vibrating goggles. She thought that was sort of a carry-on from the chair. It's doing wonders for my gums. Are you still there, Scott? It was actually quite the sensation. Your nasal passages got quite the workout.
I've got a blowfish with a sombrero, which I'm sure you'd be interested in.
There's a class thing. There's sort of a cool little bird hanging from the bottom of it.
That is a Cree Indian piece.
If that's proper native, it's cool. I'm just saying I don't know if I want to pay to find out I'm wrong.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Maybe we'll come back to that when we come back to the erotophone. Maybe I'll have softened you up by that point in time. Back in the corner, he's got a piece. I know exactly what it is as soon as I see it. It's an old folk art piece. It's a weird item. Somebody spent hours and hours and hours making it out of old cigarette boxes. Like a bit of tramp art, as far as I'm concerned. Eyes of eyes, how much would I need to take this home?
15 bucks for that, I think.
Oh, my. That's
Too little?
Yeah.
20.
No, you have to shake hands with her.
Here,
She's
yeah.
the
20. Hey, you're strong. Before we leave this room, I've got a proposition for you, and given what I'm gonna offer you on, I think proposition's the right word. 150 for the erotophone, and you throw in the bird.
That's a great offer.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Excellent.
It's a very appealing image. It would be from a piece of furniture, 19th century.
Hung it up on the wall.
Would you part with that, Michael?
For the right price, I guess.
What would the right price be?
You're gonna have to tell me.
20 bucks?
Tops.
$20? Look at the workmanship that went into that. Just feel it. That's solid oak.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you $2,000 if you can find the piece of furniture and get him off of. I've got absolutely no qualms about being ruthless with Michael because he's being ruthless with me. That is a nice little clock.
Beautiful object.
What would you want for that?
Oh, that would be 200.
Come on, seriously. When he said $200, I thought I was going to fall over laughing. I'd probably pay 35 bucks for it.
50.
I'm grinding him on the price on a few things, but this is not rare stuff. How come you got it hiding up there?
I forget about things.
If it's in a workroom, how emotionally attached can you be to it? If that was in the hands of somebody that went down with the Titanic, it might be worth $200.
You haven't heard the story yet.
Probably not. Yeah.
40.
They're hard.
They are hard.
We're pickers. We're going to resell.
But he has to afford a better hairdresser, I suppose. Okay.
I don't have a hairdresser. That's the problem.
Don't.
He had a whole bunch of stuff in this box. Sheldon and I nearly broke our backs getting it onto the floor.
Yeah, here, let me take those out of the way.
What would you need for the base? 25 bucks. Is it worth it to us?
Yeah, what the heck. The telescope base works perfectly with the telescope we just picked up in Great Village.
My ex-Norwegian commando ski coat.
Oh, wow. Michael showed me a nice old coat he said was sewed out of 2 sheepskins.
I bought it from an Army and Navy store in London about 30 years ago.
I don't think you could wear the coat and the chapeau at the same time.
In the old days, people were smaller. So what do you want for this, baby?
50 bucks.
Deal.
Oh, he's taking the coat.
I Allow me.
It's exciting for me because I won't be freezing my ass off in Winnipeg. Okay, let's go.
We've had a good day, and it's been a lot of fun, and the guys have been great.
We have some great items going back to Alberta. I really like the folk art piece. That one's a fun one to take home with us.
I don't think it gets cold enough anywhere but Alberta for that. I love that skull pipe.
Janet and Michael were really nice. Oh, Jesus, man. People like that kind of make picking a lot of fun.
Okay, a little straighter and then hard. Okay, maybe I should be driving. You got the emergency on there? Whoa! Holy cow!
Hey, I don't think the bet was going to be decided today.
No, there was nothing really nautical.
There's always tomorrow.
Oh, look at that. An antique shop there. I think I should take that goofy phone we bought and see what he'd give us for it.
Why not? Do you mind if I head into the pub? Doesn't take two guys to sell a phone.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Exactly. Good luck.
I run a little antiques and collectibles shop here in downtown Amherst. I've always been a collector. I've always liked going to yard sales, auctions, picking through old stuff.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Paul Farrell, Skippy.
I see the things I love to see, buy, sell, trade. And I thought, you know what, I got a goofy item here that I wanted to bring by and see if you knew anything about it.
How goofy's goofy?
It's pretty goofy. You want to go inside?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the unveiling?
I think so.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Never seen nothing like this before.
I've dealt with a lot of phones over the years. It's not the oldest phone I've seen by any means, but it's certainly the most bizarre phone I've ever seen.
I wonder what the wife would think when I'm talking on it all the time.
I know what my wife would think.
She would say, there's nobody there, hang the phone up.
Yeah. Now, do you have any idea what you'd pay for it?
I would pay somewhere in the vicinity of $175 to $250 for it.
I'm gonna be blunt with you. I'm gonna give you my bottom line. I wouldn't sell this for less than $350. And I know that's a tough price for a dealer to pay, but I'm sort of thinking this is for a personal collection with a big price tag on it.
Would you take 300?
You know what? You're getting fairer by the minute, and I hate to say no, but I'm holding firm at $350, and I totally understand it if you don't want to pay it. But I think there's a big upside in this, particularly if you've got a shop where it's on the shelf, on display every day.
Think we got a shelf deal, buddy.
I'm not sure if I'm happy about that or sad about that.
I'm gonna keep it for myself, for my desk, for my office. Now let me call my banker and get some money sent over.
Hey, you got a beer for me, perfect.
How'd you do?
You're not gonna believe it.
Hit me.
$350.
Good job, man.
Now I don't have to answer my wife's question as to why I bought it.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
We're off to the Bay of Fundy area of Nova Scotia. Apparently, Garth is just an all-around collector.
What's he got?
Garth's got jukeboxes,
That's always good.
pinball machines,
Sometimes good.
yeah, some gas pumps, automobiles. Garth's got it all, it sounds like.
So why is he having us in?
I think he's trying to lighten the load.
I sure hope he's trying to lighten the load. Oh, yeah, there's
That
the
would
gas
be-
pump. That's always a tip-off, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Hey, do I know you?
Not yet, but you will.
Oh, good. What's your name?
Scott.
And yours?
I'm Sheldon.
Hi,
Smithers.
Sheldon.
And you're Garth.
This is it.
Yeah.
This property goes back to 1761, and the house is 1892, and the goodies are here from the 1880s on up.
Where's a good place to start?
Well, you can start right here in the garage if you like.
Let's do it.
I'd let you drive if we had this truck right here.
You'd be the most noticed pickers in North America.
Sheldon and I would have both loved to drive away in that GMC truck.
You should see the cab. We'd be comfy in here.
I gotta go take a look. Wow, I could take this home happily.
Yeah.
What do you need out of it?
A lot.
More than I can afford?
Yeah, possibly.
What we need is a sponsor to buy it for us. So is something like that for sale? The Buckingham door push?
We could talk about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would we talk about?
Well, that's up to, that's up to you.
I'm always apprehensive when I'm dealing with collectors. I always have a good time. Trying to pry some of that stuff out of their hands can be a bit tough. Retail on it's probably 100 to 125 on it. We could probably do 60 on it.
No.
Okay. When something's screwed to somebody's wall, it's always harder to get than if it's sitting against a wall. Old Ford dealer sign, genuine parts.
Hey, that's a great sign, Scott.
It's a little rough, but it's still a Ford sign. What era would you say that one's from?
30s.
That's what I thought. 30s
Exactly.
or 40s
Yeah.
at the latest, because of
Yeah.
the way the Ford insignia is.
Mid-30s.
And you got it hiding behind a couple of boxes.
That's right.
That usually means it's not going to be nearly as dear.
Yeah, right. Probably 400.
Garth hasn't given me the indication he's not selling anything. What he's told me is I'm not selling anything dirt cheap. Do you have any room to move on the Ford sign?
Don't you know it's better to give than to receive?
So give me a good price.
Oh, it goes both ways, does it?
Yes.
Just to help you along the way and make things workable for you, I'll take 350.
You got to start somewhere.
That's a good place to start, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. It broke the ice. We got a sail under our belt. We got the wheels going now. I see you got a little cheese ball thermometer here.
It'd be about 968, 69.
Of course, because everyone loves girls in bikinis. So that's got some emotional attachment to you.
Give me an idea what it's worth to you, and I'll tell you.
Give me an idea what you want, and I'll tell you if it's worth that much to you.
I guess $30.
I think we gotta have that for 30 bucks. don't
I'm
you
with
think?
you, Scott.
Yeah. Deal.
Is that hard, cold cash?
As hard as you can get it. We're gonna put it in the cooler for
Oh,
a while.
right on. Perfect.
Let me just take a look at the front. I want to see if there's anything out there. Usually that's a bad sign, because if it's on the front, you like it even better.
Got a perk. That's a beautiful sign. Very rare.
You're real attached to that? Because I am too. Now, is that from this area?
No, it's U.S. and Canadian.
It's U.S. and Canadian,
Yes.
okay. There's a whole lot of early tire manufacturing companies. You've got to purchase one of them. Out of business since probably the 50s or 60s. This one's a rare sign. When they were screwed to the outside of buildings, they got shot, they got stolen, they got used for insulation in barns. You know, they just didn't survive. If you were to sell that, what would it take to get it out of you?
That would be probably between $500 and $1,000 somewhere.
I'll give you 501.
And one what?
I'd like to take that back to Calgary with me.
You work your little mind on that thing and think about it for a while.
I'm going to hit you with that a little later, you know.
Yes, I know.
Wow.
Gentlemen, you're now in the building we call Memories.
Wow.
And this building is surrounded by artifacts that go back to the 1880s and up to the 1980s.
You got two jukeboxes. Are
Yeah.
they both 60s?
That one over there is a 1954, and it's completely mono. Stereo and jukeboxes only came about in 1958.
Now, I'm assuming because it's sitting here lit up that it's likely not for sale.
Likely not.
And if you were going to sell it, what would the value be?
Around 5,000.
Did you find something, Scott?
I may have.
Now that's a real nice piece of porcelain.
What would you need out of that?
All you can give me.
The reason we ask people to set the price first is because we're afraid that if we're too low for them, we may insult them and that may change the dynamic.
I'll make you happy. 150.
If you can avoid any negative thought, you're doing yourself a favor.
Okay, 150.
150, it's a deal, no tax.
Scott,
Yeah,
did you see this scale?
I did not.
You got your weight, and then by your weight, it tells you how high you actually should be. And according to this,
Well, I ain't getting on it.
I should be 6'8" playing basketball.
Let's see where I fall. I'm off the scale.
It's blue, It's mint, it's never been painted, it's always been indoors. Would you part with that?
That would be tough.
It's always tough to part with a good item.
Being a Canadian scale and being in such great shape, it's just a real collectible item.
So if somebody was going to pry you on that, what would they have to pry you with?
Oh, we're talking a bunch.
So you're talking about 2 to 3 grand.
Yes.
You know your retail price is really good, but we're trying to make some money on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave the scale, maybe come back to it if the opportunity presents itself. Go pick, Scott. Go find us a treasure. I'll distract them.
Oh, you saved that one. You saved it.
I love a pinball game, pick or no pick. Nice shot, Scott. I love that sound. That's music to my ears.
Sounds like a winner, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. The museum is just a fun place. The jukeboxes, the pinball machines, the memorabilia.
Elvis is in the building. He never leaves.
I love the little lip thing. That is so bad.
Garth likes to have fun.
Thank you very much. Wow, that's a big Coke cooler. That's a beaut. You know, you see 100 of the one
Single.
half ones for every one of these. I'm not sure I've ever seen a white Coke cooler with red lettering. Anyone would want that in their rec room. I'm guessing if you had to buy one of those, it cost you about $1,000?
Yeah.
Great thing. It's just too darn big for us to haul across the country. And you're not probably selling it anyway, because you'd have a big space there.
No,
you'd
I
have
would.
to Yeah?
Yeah.
Can we open the door?
Yes, we can.
That is a good-looking thing.
Yeah.
Geez, you're tempting me on this one. You're tempting me. I'm looking for unusual, and this is unusual. We're gonna walk around and think about this. Anything down here?
Yes, there is. Something of extreme interest, not what you expect.
So now he's gotten me hooked. I'm really dying to see what's up.
This here is not what you're expecting.
I don't know what I'm expecting. Whoa. I have no idea what that is.
Something that the government at the experimental station in Dartmouth made this up with all these different rudders and so on and so forth. It's an underwater apparatus, but I can't give you the exact name of it.
So there's one of the fins.
It's one of those picker finds.
It's the ultimate fishing lure, isn't it?
I can't tell them exactly what it is, only what I think it is. Whether it chases a submarine or comes out of the water and goes after a plane, I don't know.
Where'd you find it?
I bought it at auction.
At auction?
Yes.
Good, we're not gonna get in trouble for buying it then.
No.
Yeah, right. There's nothing top secret in here?
No.
Why do you still have it?
Because you haven't bought it.
Yeah. Give us a shot. That is the absolute sleeper. There could be unbelievable upside and zero downside.
So how much do you want for it?
200.
You know what? I've bet on worse nags at the horse races. I think we should own this for $200.
There's probably $200 worth of aluminum in there.
Yeah, there is.
I think we could turn that into one of the coolest lamps you will ever see.
Deal!
I'm going to shake you on that one, too. Absolute no-brainer.
And we now own it.
I don't know if it's the best thing I've ever bought. It's certainly the weirdest thing I've ever bought. Wow, there's a lot of stuff around here.
Oh, this is a treasure chest.
You got lots of records. I'm going to take a look at the few
We've got
records here.
probably about 2,000 albums up here.
Sexorama.
Anything interesting in here, Sheldon? Now there's stuff piled in front of other items. Excuse the scattered array, but being pickers, I'm sure you've been there before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look at that. Titanic.
Titanic?
Yeah, that's the Titanic.
Can I squeeze it by you here? I just want
Sure.
to take a look at this.
What a great piece of folk art.
Yes.
It's
Beautiful
rustic.
picture.
It's reverse painted on glass, and they've actually put a little bit of mother of pearl in here. You can see it with the light.
Oh, jeez.
Just to, it's fabulous.
Look at how out of scale it is. It's
Yeah.
just perfect.
Actually, we're connected to that through our family background.
Really?
My grandmother married a sea captain from the turn of the century. He often walked down to the docks. Happens that the Titanic was there getting set for sail within the next week or so.
Right.
They tried to convince him to join the officer crew of the Titanic. He did not sail. Titanic has meaning for us, not that we actually had a family member on it,
Yeah.
but that we didn't have one on it.
Exactly.
Thank goodness.
Exactly.
That's what
You wouldn't
made
be here right now.
I would not be.
Well, this is something that I would really, really love to have. I'd like to have it. And also, I think it maybe solves a bet, Scott.
We had a bet as to who could find the best nautical piece while we were here.
Oh, yes?
But we had to buy it.
Garth, what would it take to part with this piece of folk art?
It'd probably come in the $500 or $600 range, perhaps maybe $550, $575.
Well, I was thinking 4. Would you consider 4?
Ooh, that's a little tight. What about 5?
How about 450?
How about 475?
I'd almost prefer that you went up. I have reasons for that.
Sold!
I have reasons.
475.
Oh, you. Oh,
Scott,
you.
would you shake that man's hand for me?
I gotta buy him a lobster
Jesus.
dinner. Yeah. Garth, I'm gonna beat you up on that Coke machine first. You know what? I was gonna come at you with 5 on it just because of the cost of shipping it. How about 6?
Oh my, 5 wouldn't do it.
6.
You've been pretty fair overall. You bought a fair bit of stuff, and I appreciate that. Here I go again, giving in.
6. Thank you very much. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, excellent.
I am real happy with that.
Hey, what about the scale? Can we revisit?
Yes, but it's not cheap.
If a scale could be pretty,
This is it.
this is the one.
Beautiful thing either way, but that's what helps me.
Oh,
is the
yeah.
Canadian connection.
But keeping in mind, we're going to turn this over, hopefully at a profit. And I hope I don't insult you, but would you take $1,000?
No, definitely not.
No?
No, I have to come up.
1,100.
It's a deal.
I'm not going to give you a chance to change your mind. Thank you very much.
Better hurry quick.
Thank you very much, because I think we got ourselves a scale. I'm so happy, but I'm not showing you what I weigh today.
Okay, I gotta beat you up one more time.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, we're on a roll.
Yeah, your roll.
Would you take 501?
501 won't work.
What will work?
502. I gotta come up.
Done!
We're leaving with some great items. I think we've made a new friend. It's just been a great day. It doesn't get any better than this for picking.
I'm happy with that. I don't see these very often. I'm happy with that. Real nice.
Yeah, in great shape. That scale is a really good item.
It's not something you see every day.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. But you know something
Yeah.
I never do?
What?
I never say goodbye. See you later. If you're from the far south, Slater. You can keep that. It's a new one. Slater.
See you later.
Slater. Slater.
Hey, that was quite something.
What I can't get over, he said that property has been there. He's got a deed to it from 1761.
It's a great part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old fish factory.
That'll do.
Well, I hate to say it, Sheldon, but you outpicked me on this one. A deal's a deal.
And you're a man of your word. I hope your credit card's paid up is all I can say.
Yeah, well, I think all I'm having is the warm bread baguette. Yikes. Holy cow.
If you don't surface in about 8 or 10 minutes, it's been nice.
I wish I had this when I was a kid.
Now, you see the Pepsi?
It looks like it was at
Custer's last stand.
Hit us with your best shot.
80 bucks.
Whoa! It is a bear trap.
You want to test it?
Yeehaw!
This is great.
I once sold at auction for $5,000.
I'm sitting in a $5,000 chair.
Oh, shocking.
I'm Scott Cousins.
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
And we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and barns. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us. Betsy's not doing real well. She needs some gas. We're gonna stop, fuel up. Of course, I'll be the one fueling up. Hopefully, at least Sheldon will get the windows this time. Holy smokes. Those two girls at the gas station, I think they liked you.
Never met anybody quite like me before.
They asked me if my father was single.
Touche.
I brought a few white hats along with us.
Perfect.
The classic symbol of Calgary.
If a guy plays ball, they get the hat, right?
Exactly. Good pick, white hat. That white hat tradition goes back to, what was it, Mayor McKay in the 40s?
I actually don't know that. I didn't know that. I know we white hat people when they come to town if they're important.
I thought we'd switch it up a little bit and take the white hats with us.
So we're going up to Bayfield, right on Lake Huron. We're going to see Phil. Phil's been collecting for 60 years.
He's got automobilia, gas pumps, signage. Apparently Phil has a lot of buildings on his land.
Well, hopefully we're going to Phil's land and not landfill. Oh, there. This must be in here.
Here we go. Look at this place. Holy Christ!
Yeah. It's interesting. This is interesting.
Got his own little village here.
Yeah. He's got a pile of stuff. You must be Phil.
I am.
Phil, Scott Cousins, how are you?
How do you do?
Hey, Phil, I'm Sheldon.
Oh, yeah, it's a little windy.
Well, we were noticing all the buildings coming in. You got a little bit of inventory here, Phil.
Yes?
I'm calling it Philville.
I've heard that before.
Looks like you're an accumulator.
Yeah, myself, I have mechanical things, clocks, guns, motors, collectibles, Coca-Cola, beer, garden decorations, enamelware, signs, advertising, old tractors, the odd antique stove, railroad memorabilia. We also make maple syrup here. I used to have bees here, but I got sick of getting stung, so we don't sell honey anymore. And a few old boats.
Are you willing to part with a little bit of it today?
Well, a little bit, yes.
This looks like a good place to start. I can see the bottom of a Coke sign there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's been beat a little bit.
In nice shape, they're like 1,200.
Yeah, I think the market's dropped a bit on
Oh,
those.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
in really good shape, they're worth about 800 now.
Yeah, okay.
You got a Quaker State sign here. What did you need out of the Quaker State?
Well, I was looking for 6 on it, but...
Whoa, that's a pretty steep price.
Well, it's a nice old sign.
It's been shot once there.
Yeah. I have means to shoot it a few more times if that helps. But now it's your turn to make me an offer.
At 600, I'm afraid to even make an offer.
Oh, no, don't be shy.
So I try them on. I couldn't even give you 200 for it. He's like, oh, God, I've been shot.
I think we're too far apart.
That's what I said. That's what I said at the first.
Say, Phil, what would you do on this little anvil?
25.
Well, you got 20 on it. You're supposed to go down.
No, but
Down for the picker, boys, not up.
No, you got to start high with you guys, see?
Okay, well, I'll say 4.
Oh, well. Okay. We'll make it short and sweet. $15. I knocked $5 off of $20.
Done.
Okay?
I'm having some fun. We broke the ice. You've been looking for one of these for right across this vast country.
It's not exactly the one I'm looking for, but it is a bear trap, I think.
Yeah. We want to set it, test it?
Yeah.
You do the jaws, I'll hold it down.
There we go.
I think it's rusted out a little bit. It's not as strong as it used to be.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
So how much is the trap?
$2.50.
He's not easy.
I think I should take my anvil and go.
Now, you see the kick plate Pepsi?
Yeah.
That's really been shot.
Yeah.
Okay?
It looks like it was at Custer's last stand.
He did have one sign on the ceiling that didn't look too bad. It was a Toronto Star sign. Is it double-sided or single-sided?
Single-sided.
Single-sided. Decent sign. It's one you don't see out west as often as some of the other ones.
These were actually on bicycle stands.
That sign looks to me like from the 40s or 50s. So that would be like 100?
Yep.
Well, I'm thinking I can do 100 on that.
Okay. Here's a Buckingham.
Yeah, you know, cigarette stuff's really slowed
Really
down
flat,
as of
eh?
late,
Yep.
eh?
Yeah.
The stuff that's really popular is the good oil and gas and
Yeah.
coffee and tea, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a scarce gas pump, isn't it? I've never seen the skinny one like that.
This gas pump came with this property when I bought the property in 1979.
Wow. So you don't have much into it?
Not a lot, no. So I got a total of $49 in that pump.
So what would you need out of it?
I've turned down $5 grand for the pump and $2 for the top.
You paid $50 for it. You turned down $7,000. So it's not for sale?
Not really.
It was never leaving that garage, ever. I see something I'd like to buy off you.
Uh-oh. See, this is kind of stuff that I'm not trying to sell, like.
This is all your favorite stuff in here.
Oh, kind of. Like, it's a workshop where no work gets done.
What about the Red Indian
That's
sign?
what I'm looking at, is the Red
Oh.
Indian sign.
It was covering a stovepipe hole.
So again, you got nothing into it.
Nothing
into it, yeah.
What do you want out of it?
I like it.
So come on, hit me with your best shot on the Red Indian sign.
You're actually in the inner sanctum here where...
Well, that's where we want to be. I assume you're telling me by the lack of response that you're not selling me the Red Indian sign.
Not everything's for sale. Like, I have some of my own collections that are not for sale. Unfortunately, they kind of zero in on a lot of the things I like to keep.
Do you have any more White Rose type stuff or Anarco?
They're pretty high priced.
You must have bought them 10 years ago.
I did.
Anarco is a type of oil or gas that was put out by a company, White Rose. It's got the little boy holding the sign on the Anarco, and that's what everybody wants. It's got the figural, it's got the graphics, it's early 1930s usually. So it's the stuff that's second to Red Indian in terms of popularity. Yikes.
Yep.
You got some serious 10 years ago prices on
Yeah,
these.
that is, yeah.
So what did you pay for it?
Oh, over $3. It is a nice bank, though.
Did you buy that for resale at the time, or did you buy
I
that?
was actually collecting,
okay.
you know, with
here
the
we
old
go.
gas pump
Yeah.
and stuff, I was...
So you paid a premium to
Yep.
get it for yourself 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the market peaked 10 years ago. A lot of areas of collecting have softened. Part of that's the economy. Part of that is a lot of these guys that were collecting are too old, and I'm finding some of them want to sell and not collect anymore.
If you were to sell the whole lot of those Anarco tins, what would be your rock bottom, blow it out price?
Oh.
And forget what you got into them, because that's so irrelevant at this point.
$600.
You're probably not going to be happy, but I'd go 400 on them. That's not leaving us a lot of room for profit.
I just think we're just a little too far apart.
That's okay.
I hate to sell for less than I got in stuff. I either have to wait till the market turns around or get buried with it.
Phil, I'm going to warn you. Scott here,
Uh-huh.
he's a tank driver.
I stalled it.
Oh, boy, yeah. That's a World War II toy to save on metal, eh?
But there's several more buildings, and I'm thinking, well, maybe there's something in one of these buildings that Phil is not quite as attached to. I know it's one of your favorites because it was tucked away back here.
Well, yeah.
It's in pretty tough shape here.
Oh, yeah.
Water. Hit me with your best shot, Phil.
$100.
Oh.
Oh, shocking.
What about this?
Well, this is actually a box that a roll of linoleum would come from.
The good news for us, though, is we're shipping. We can
Yeah.
put stuff in it.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. What would you want for that?
It's got $30 on it. I could knock 5 off that.
All right, 25, done.
That's actually the best priced item I've seen so far, Phil.
I hope they're happy with it.
A box is something we can use for packaging at the same time, and the graphics were good on that.
They really know their stuff.
Bought myself a Hercules made in Canada anvil.
They're good guys.
Decent sign. It's nice and bright. Somebody will want that sign.
Well,
Well,
they're
thanks a
interesting.
lot. You're tough to deal with.
I know.
But-
I get practice
You got practice. 60 years of it, apparently.
over that.
Maybe you'll have a little less attachment to those Anarco tins next time I'm through.
I have a feeling they might still be here.
Could be. Could be.
Oh, I forgot to ask him about maple syrup.
What about maple syrup?
I was gonna buy some maple syrup.
Does he sell maple syrup?
He sells maple syrup. We're in a beautiful part of southern Ontario. It's Oxford County. It's rich with antiques. We're going to see a guy called Marty. He's got a shop. He's a picker. He sells to other dealers like us.
That's interesting. It's really a storage facility, right?
Yeah.
We're in Ingersoll, Ontario this morning. We're hoping to get into Marty's place and pick some good things. There we are.
Hey, I'm Sheldon.
Sheldon.
You must be Marty.
Scott.
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Nice to meet you, Marty. So what's the story?
This is where I drop everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a bit haphazard in here, isn't it?
It is. I go out and hunt the stuff down myself because the thrill is in the hunt. So I'll dig through barns and basements and attics and junk stores. It doesn't matter how old it is. If it looks attractive to me and I think someone else will enjoy it, I'll pick it up.
Boy, Marty, you got the eclectic collection here.
So nothing's priced. So what do? Do we just look around and then ask you?
Yeah, just snoop around and see something you like, pull it out, and I'm sure we can work out a deal.
I can see that this is a guy that's like a flea market picker, but the good news for us is this is not a place where the public gets. This is a place where Marty takes his stuff, sorts it, prices it, and decides what he's gonna do with it. Oh, this is cool. I gotta try that on. I love old serviceman jackets, whether it's for Maytag repairman, Esso. This was the Silverwood Dairies one, and they are hot amongst young kids today. How much is Bruce's jacket?
How's 20 bucks?
20 bucks. Does it fit me well enough for 20 bucks?
I don't know, Bruce. Scott looks good in everything.
I thank you, Sheldon. I feel good about myself now. No, I think I'm gonna have to buy it. 20 bucks.
That's good. My mother's been in the business for 30 years, so I've been dragged around to junk shops and flea markets and antique shows my whole life.
We need something for the dashboard in the vehicle.
Sheldon's got a great eye for a naked lady.
She's been huluing a little too much because the spring was a little bit loose.
I don't want to risk it.
I think it's just the string is stretched.
There was a time those hula knotters were gold. Oh.
I think you're getting attached to her.
Well, no, I'm getting attached to whether or not I can flip it to somebody. I don't want the work associated with making that one look good enough to sell it. She's got a fairly short skirt, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Scott, skateboards.
Oh, cool. Somebody changed the wheels on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they souped that one up.
Skateboards are hugely collectible.
Nash Manufacturing.
Yeah, that's the standard department store one of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and still today. Not wood, they were fiberglass or plastic. It's got a good image on it. And guys that have skateboard shops, they want to hang them from the ceiling because they got the look. They're all vintage. So how much do you want for these?
I'll go 30 bucks on the lot.
30. 25 bucks.
All right, done.
Yeah. We'll make some money off those. There you go.
Marty, he's an interesting guy. He likes to buy really low and sell slightly higher. So he's a picker. He sells to other dealers like us. Look at the look in Rocket's face. Isn't that classic?
Sporting memorabilia is very desirable because guys that have bars want it.
Hey, there's Jackie Parker.
Guys that just collect sporting stuff want it.
Great moments in Canadian sport.
Oh, Bobby Hull.
Bobby, he's just about to have the big slap shot.
And the
with
big
curve.
The buck's scared. That's hilarious.
Bobby, miss.
I could see immediately that it was old, and it was just a really cheap 39-cent banner in its day. But you know what? Bobby Hull stuff's not common, and I know people that will pay $20, $25 for that easy. How much do you want for the Bobby?
I was thinking 15 on the banner.
I'd pay 10 for it. That's all I'd pay.
That's fine. Done. Everything's for sale. Everything has a price. As long as I make my money and they make their money, I'm happy.
I saw a Dumbo cookie jar, turnabout cookie jar. You could have Dumbo that way. You could turn his head around that way. Proper Walt Disney one. It was marked on the bottom, so it wasn't a knockoff.
At least there's no chips. There's no
Yeah, and they
scratches.
often
No,
get busted right here.
Yeah.
On the rim when people put them in. Made in the 1940s and early 50s. Right after the movie Dumbo came out. What would you want for Dumbo?
You could have them for 15.
I love Dumbo. Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But I still cry at the sad parts. Lightning Kung Fu. I've never even heard of this movie. Have you, Sheldon?
Oh, yeah, that was one of Hung Cambo's better movies.
That's a great sound system you got there.
Yeah, it's my baby.
It's not the top of the line Bang & Olufsen, but even a low-end Bang & Olufsen's better than most of the stereo systems out there.
Anything the Danes make, quality.
Put some jazz on.
Knock yourself out.
There you are. That thing was made in the early 70s, and it still looks good today. Okay, good. What would you need out of that?
My best price is 300 on it.
It's tempting. Got one guy that likes this stuff. Let me think about that for a minute. But I want to ask you about your fan. That is a cool fan. I think these were really popular in the 50s. Where'd you get it from?
One of those parts of Detroit you're not supposed to be in.
What were you doing there?
Picking.
It's a dual function, right? You could use it as a stool.
Yep.
And when the house got really hot, you turned the fan on. Fans in general are easy moves. What kind of price do you want from me for it?
I'd let it go for 50 bucks.
Oh, I'm having that. Deal. All right. Somebody's gonna love that.
We're buying a few things. Scott's pulling the trigger here and there.
Where did these buttons come out of?
A dirty old estate I was digging through last week.
They are dirty.
Yeah, but there's some pretty cool ones on there, so I just grabbed the whole bunch.
Some of them are older, right?
Yeah.
I found some Led Zeppelin pins. I noticed right in the middle of it was a real good early vintage Beatles pin. So what would you want for the whole rack of these things?
You take them all in the stink with you for 10 bucks.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. Look at that. Have you ever seen that before?
They're heat lamps.
And what would they be for heating?
I think they're more for relaxational.
They're cool. I mean, they almost look like a black light.
Look at these. You can tilt them too, swivel around.
You guys rotate on a different planet than me.
What would you want for them?
I'd have to get 60 out of the pair.
I've never seen you stew for 60 bucks.
I'm thinking to myself, you know, I feel better at 20 a piece, but before I can open my mouth...
Thank you, Marty. Done. Here, I made the decision for you, partner. I know you want them. I like to keep the process moving along. Anything upstairs?
Yeah, I've got a couple big pieces up there and some projects I haven't gotten around to yet.
Wow, a little bit of everything here. Is this a chair?
Yes, it's a rocker.
That's funny.
Yeah.
When I first looked at it, I thought it was just something some hack put together. That's actually really good. Man, it was just beautiful to rock in. Like, is this something one-off, or what is it?
Well, there was a few hundred produced.
So, like, it's a real piece of furniture. It's not just some quirky guy that made it.
Well, he's a quirky guy.
What's his name?
William Lisman.
The guy from the movie?
The movie Fly Away Home.
He teaches the geese to fly, right?
Yep, to follow him in his lightweight plane.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
He's
an
the guy
ultralight.
Ontario, isn't he?
North of Toronto, yeah.
Right, right. He made this.
Yes. He's a well-known artist and sculptor, and he's won national awards. It is a great piece of Canadian history. It made it to Architectural Digest, and then one sold at auction for $5,000.
I'm sitting in a $5,000 chair?
Again, yeah.
You should try it.
All right, I'm in. Yeah, this is a really cool chair. What do you have to have for it?
1,000 bucks.
If you'd have told me that before I sat in it, I would have thought you were crazy. Holy smokes.
Done.
Now, usually I'm the guy that steps up on modern furniture.
We came up with a star piece out of the attic right at the end of the pick. The guy that buys this is gonna have to take a test drive. That's the only, that's what sells it.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna find in the next room you get into. And I think we made a good buy on all the stuff we bought from Marty. I know people that will pay anywhere between $5 and $20 a piece for them. Look at these cool lamps. Somebody's gonna love to have that as a bit of mood lighting. It's a great little fan.
Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, hang on a second. Yeah, I had a little white hat. Brand spanking new from the Calgary Tourist and Convention Bureau. Bit of a tradition.
Wonderful.
It's official. You got to come to Calgary now.
You've been white-hatted.
All right, I'll take you up on that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, there's a guy that looks good in a cowboy hat. Okay. Thanks a lot,
guys.
Marty.
Thanks a lot. What a good guy.
Yeah, I really liked him.
Yeah.
That chair really didn't belong in the attic. That's a lot of money, but I don't feel uncomfortable about it at all.
Nor do I.
Really like this area. This looks like moose country, doesn't it?
Yeah. Heading towards Kawartha Lakes. Lots of lakes, cottage country, and it's rich in material. We're gonna see Shane and his father, George. So I think you're gonna be excited about George's things. He's got all kinds of automobile collectibles, advertising.
So we should be getting close.
Yeah.
It's got to be here. This has got to be here.
Yeah,
Nobody's got a White Rose sign like that.
Yeah, and the Coke
And there's a
cooler.
totem pole on the front.
I didn't expect to see a totem pole.
Look at that double
Yeah.
shell visible gas
Yeah.
pump.
Beauty.
How are you?
Scott Cousins, how are you?
George.
Hi, Shane. I'm
Hi.
Sheldon. Couldn't help but notice the totem pole driving up. Where'd you get that?
They come from Indonesia.
That's amazing. They make that in Indonesia. How long have you been collecting, George?
Oh, man. I think I started when I was little collecting license plates.
I like Coke machines. I do a lot of the vendos. I've restored quite a few of those and fixed them up and sold them.
We moved out here about 6 years ago. It was 4 acres. We built a nice shop, and we're gonna have a nostalgia store someday and do the restoration on the stuff.
That's a repro shell sign.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really nice globe. It's a figure of
They
globe.
look great lit up.
We heard that George wanted to sell and had a ton of stuff. So what would something like that sell for?
In that condition, probably 2,500 bucks.
Now, if you were going to sell it to us, what would you want for it in that
probably
condition?
28. No.
What we didn't hear is that he wants to sell retail out of a store he's going to open up. I can see where this is going. So you live there,
Yeah.
and this is going to be a shop.
Correct.
Well, did you say he had some stuff in the house as well?
Come on in. Come on down.
Wow. Lots to look at. Holy smokes.
Got a real mix in here of stuff.
When we get the store up and running, it's going to be kind of like a nostalgia warehouse that's going to have rows and rows of stuff.
We're gonna do jukeboxes, Coke machines, gas pumps, signs, pinball machines, the whole works.
The paint on this is just perfect.
I bought it out of Texas.
But I think he's a recast. I know that Big Boy was still big in the 60s because we used to have that deal with our folks that every one of us on our birthday, we get to take a couple friends.
And let me guess.
I usually picked Big Boy. So what do they cost to get them made?
By the time I got this shipped up here, if I sold that, it'd be 2,500.
Just to break even.
I don't know about you, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
George is often paying top dollar for his pieces.
And the Salada cheese sign, is that being restored?
This one I had to repair just a little bit, and I kept all the cracks in it.
And he's restoring and putting hours into a lot of them. Boy, did you ever do a nice job on this one?
The porcelain was all damaged through there, so I cleaned it off and saw brass, so we polished up.
Can I touch this one?
Yeah, take it down, yeah.
So as a consequence, George is investing a lot in the pieces that he had.
There's a good door push, that Coke one.
Yeah.
But Scott's persistent. It's the shape that really sets this one off, isn't it?
Yeah, very Art Deco in shape, but it's not 20s, it's 40s.
I really enjoy restoring the signs. This one's, I restored the ends.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one.
It was in a fire, and I had to do from there over.
You did a great job. That's a nice decorator piece for somebody. It's never gonna be truly collectible because, like you said, it was half gone, right?
Yeah.
I have trouble selling restored signs.
Yeah.
People want them original. Like this one is original. Yeah. What would you want for something like that?
Those ones go for about 400.
In this condition?
Yeah.
400 seems to me to be steep. I think that's probably more than book price on it. I could do 3 on it, but I can't do any more than 3.
I probably got that in it.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I wish I had this when I was a kid. I never had anything like this.
You look good on that missile, I can tell already, Scott.
It's an absolutely beautiful original condition, probably a 7 out of 10, which is as good as you can hope to get one that isn't out of the box.
It's got the little lever on the side, and it makes it click when it drives.
The condition on this is just so nice. That's what 1950s, early 60s?
Yeah,
maybe?
I think so, yeah.
There's a million cars out there. Every kid had a little car, but not very many kids had a rocket. The kid that had that pedal car, he was the most popular kid on the block. I'm afraid to ask, but what do you want for it?
It's gonna be hard to part with. It's one of my favorites. There's certain items that you just kind of get attached to and you don't want to sell. And if you don't want to sell it, of course, the price goes up a bit.
I could just tell by the look in his face, the intake of breath.
I'd have to get 18 for it.
I was afraid I was going to hear that. There's no money in it for us at that, but it is a killer thing.
I'm in love with it too much.
Well, I grabbed these mostly because they're Canadian. Deal me a hand of blackjack.
Scott can pick and play cards.
I saw 2 trays there. The one was an old Molson's porcelain enamel beer tray. The other one was a piece of Canadiana. The other one was rare. So what would you want for the trays?
This being rare, I'd have to get 100 and a half, and that would be 100, that one.
If I was to take the pair, would you go 2?
No, I can't do it, sorry.
Hit me. Yes!
Oh, winner every time. Any more stuff? Maybe something you're not quite as attached to?
I don't know if I told you about the 4 trailers I have. Very crowded in those things. You're gonna have to put your climbing boots on. The trailers are so packed with stuff. Everything's just piled in there.
Holy smokes.
Nice and neat.
Yikes.
Wow.
Well, maybe not too neat.
Can I actually sort of wiggle in?
Get up there.
Holy cow.
If you don't surface in about 8 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been nice.
There's some good stuff back here. I just wish I could get to it.
Scott's like a Labrador retriever. I send him in, I tell him there's a bird in there. Go deep.
Does he bring it back to you, though?
Oh, usually, yeah.
In the trailers, they're just piled with stuff. And every time I go in there, I go, oh, yeah, I got that. I forget, you know?
Have you had a tetanus shot lately, Scott?
No, but I got a feeling I'm gonna need one.
Oh. What do you see?
A rusty 70s pedal car, I think. Now that's a beater. What would you want for a beater?
I'd want 100 for it.
It's more rust than it is metal, I think. See, Shell, I think we could probably sell that pedal car for 75 to 100 bucks. That's about it, though. Nice checker cab.
Yeah, them guys know the good stuff, that's for sure. They tried to get some of my good stuff.
What would you want for the checker cab?
They're not for sale.
Okay. Did you do these Coke stools?
They went around one of the bars I built. It's like a $6,000 bar.
$6 grand.
I might sell some of the stuff off, but I'll keep a lot of the stuff to restore.
What the heck is this thing?
That's the bottom of a carnival ride.
So that must be the bumper off that car. Are you going to restore that at some point or what?
It looks like too big of a job.
Well, then what would you want for the grill?
No, the grill would have to go with the car, because then the car would be worth nothing.
Well, it's worth nothing now. So how much would you sell the grill for and throw the car away?
No.
No? Okay. I don't understand where he's coming from. He won't discount what he loves, and he won't discount what he doesn't.
It's got to be a disease to collect this stuff.
I did all that climbing and digging. I got no treat.
Elbow. Good job.
You made it.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Quite often, collectors have a little bit of a problem parting with things.
There's lots of stuff in here that we'll be interested in. The only question we've got is, what's the price?
Wow, you got a lot of Coke.
You got a whole row of Vendo 44s over there.
Oh, you saw that, did you?
Yeah. The Vendo 44 is probably the most popular of all the Coke machines because it's so small, it can go anywhere in anyone's house. This one looks like it's in reasonably decent original condition.
When we restore them, we take the compressors right out and rebuild them. We rebuild the coin mechanisms, do all the body and paint, and when they're ready to go, they're pretty much better than brand new. If you do find one with a rack in it, these racks are gold because they're very hard to find.
I used, like, stack my beer sideways all the way up in here.
Yeah. I would sell an unrestored 44 that's complete with the rack and compressor and everything for about $2,500. When we restore them, we usually get about 6 for them.
There's just no way. We gotta buy those things at $1,200 to $1,500, flip them for $2, and let the next guy make the extra $500 to $700 on them. I'm more interested in this beat but rare sign. It's rare because it's got the little guy in it.
Yeah, and we welded that up because it was so rusty and it's in the midst of being restored.
If you were gonna sell this, what would you sell it for in that condition?
I'd have to finish it to sell it.
I don't mind a few bumps and bruises on it. It shows its age, it shows it was used, and it's easier for me to sell with the bumps and bruises than if it's been restored. If you were gonna sell it to me today,
just the way it is.
What would you want for it?
I don't think it's for sale.
Okay, well that makes it easy. Yeah. This big Coke sign, what's the story on that one?
It's missing a piece on top with the hangers, and it's to advertise your own store.
As I recall it, this thing would look a bit like that, except it would have the big stripes and then you'd have your name in it. It's a 1940s, 50s sign. Coca-Cola dealer would have come to you and said, hey, we want you to sell our product. We're gonna give you a sign and we're gonna put your name on it.
Flip it over.
Yeah, I'm trying to visualize what the top of that sign looked like before we think about whether or not we need to own it. The problem is, he's gonna dick with that thing. He's gonna touch it up and try to make it better, and in my mind, he's gonna take all the value away from that sign. And what would you sell that for if you were gonna sell it?
You'd be up around $800, $900.
The pickers are exactly like us. They're looking for wholesale prices. They got to make money, so their job is find the deal, make a bit of money, and still sell it for a good price. And that's exactly what we do.
Speaking of Coke, you used to see these all the time. You don't see them as much anymore, the Coke Cops. It looks like an original bottom.
Yeah, it's original base on it, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's heavier, yeah. Really popular item. It's almost like a cornerstone for a Coca-Cola collector. Everyone that collects Coke wants to have a Coke Cop. So what would you need to get out of the Coke Cop?
I was asking 15, but 12 would take it.
That's an entry wound.
Yeah.
That's an exit wound. Just a bit too much with that many bullet holes in it. Fortunately, that was a little lower than they were intending.
I can see them offer me a lot less on things because they have to make money on it too.
Now that's a beauty.
Yeah, that's a nice bike.
Nice condition, too.
Yeah, it's a girl's bike.
It's attractive, it's original, and this one you haven't restored. It's good enough just the way it is,
I
isn't
think I
it?
just keep it the way it is. It's kind of fun.
Everyone loves old bikes, particularly bikes out of the 50s and 60s that have that really streamlined look to it. And that had a good look. It was a girl's bike, which was a problem in one sense because they were more common than men's bikes, but it was also good because girls actually ride those bikes today, and that's who we're likely going to sell it to. That's a beaut, eh? Does it have the backup brakes? Yeah, it does. It's got the
Coaster brakes.
It's a bit wobbly, though.
I don't think the bike is wobbly. I think that might be you and a few too many suds last night.
I think it is. I think it is. That's a nice bike, though. So what do you want for that?
I should get $300 for it.
You know, it's getting up there where it's questionable how much we could make off it, if anything.
That's a great bite. Would you take 250?
Yeah, I'd go 250.
Yeah. Done.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm glad I sold him something. I think we have a market for that. We'll make a few bucks, pay for the gas. Hey guys, that was nice.
Hey,
it's nice to
thanks
meet
a lot.
you guys. Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Happy day.
Hey guys, yeah. Big boy made me kind of hungry for a burger. Maybe have some suds. That was quite something.
Got to see some neat things, but couldn't buy anything. I don't think my wife would be too happy if I brought a semi-truck trailer and put it on the front lawn. Do you think so?
I'd say you're getting close. We're going to see Tim. We're going to take the Lisman rocker to get an appraisal, get his opinion on it.
Well, if he knows something about that rocker, I'm going to be impressed.
I'm with you. I knew the movie.
I didn't even know Lisman made rockers.
We know there's profit in that chair. How much? Well, that remains to be seen.
Oh, there.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I love doing appraisals because you just never know what someone's going to walk in with.
We wanted you to take a look at this for us. Have you ever seen one of these?
Yeah, the Lisman chair. They're quite unique. We made a few hundred of them back in the 70s, and they're highly collectible because they're a work of art, is what they are.
They're really comfortable.
Yeah, these are really cool. Seen it in books, but it's not something you're going to handle every day.
We stepped up for it. We didn't get it for $100. We paid $1,000 for it. What do you think something like this would sell in terms of marketability and everything else?
You have to take it a couple hours away to the greater Toronto area where you have a collector base, people that really know the stuff, that are really hot for it. If I was wholesaling to another dealer, like $2,500 or so.
Wow, yeah. That's pretty good.
You went in with both feet, but you're gonna win it.
Hey, that's great. I really wanted to see what he had in his drop-off warehouse because he's a picker, buys and sells, we're looking to buy. That's great.
Thank you.
Let's get up to the house.
Yeah.
Didn't think we were going to get anything from Tim other than an appraisal.
I've already white-hatted him.
Do you look good in it?
Yeah, he's one of us.
Do you look as good as me?
I hate to say it, he looks better.
I handle a lot of different things, so I have gas and oil things. I got toys.
Find anything?
Oh, there's all kinds of neat little doodads here and there.
Man cheeks, if you want to call them that, the stuff that guys really like.
How much?
Walking stick, $10.
Done.
Is that a moose call?
I believe it is, yeah. You can have it for $15. Everybody knows if they want something unusual.
It's a birch bark moose call. It's got to be worth $15.
They come and find it with me because I get the unusual.
Oh, you got a couple beaver sealers.
Yeah, beaver sealers, they're a fairly local jar. They're made over in Wallaceburg, which is a couple hours away from here to the south.
These are the common ones, right? Because they're pointed to the right.
Yep.
What do you need out of those?
Those ones I need $10 each.
Done. There's nothing more Canadian than a beaver.
I work on high volume, low profit, and just move the stuff because, you know, really it boils down to it's just stuff.
That's a pitter, isn't it?
Yep.
It's got a really nice set of Art Nouveau legs on it, doesn't it?
Nice piece of cast iron, that's for sure.
Hit us with your best shot, Tim.
$80.
That's a good piece.
Is it?
Yeah, 80.
Done. This is fun.
Dealing with those guys was pretty easy. They're on the same page where I'm at.
This big dirt mover.
Steam shovel, original paint, nice shape. It should retail about $2 1/4.
Real nice red and black digger, Canadian made. Every company under the sun made that digger at one point in time. The difference with this one was condition. It was about 9.5 out of 10.
To find toys in original paint is really good. They're getting harder and harder to find, and they bring the premium dollar. I need $100 for it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let the next guy make a few bucks, and then he can come back with his profit and buy more.
Is this an American company?
Crimco, they were across Canada. I know that for sure because I've seen them on out of different places.
It was a chocolate milk sign. Very unusual, nice size, good crisp image.
Probably, I would say 30s because it's embossed.
How much did you say you wanted for that?
$40.
Is that your best? 30? 30.
All right, just because you're shaking.
Done!
No regrets. I'm happy to move the stuff along, let somebody make some more money.
What do you want for the blanket?
You want to buy my packing blanket? $5.
Done. This is the quick speed pick. I love it.
Any traps or anything? I've been looking for a good bear trap.
We'll have to go to the front, and I'll open that up, and we'll look up front there. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, now, there she be.
Yeah, that's a blacksmith bear trap.
They've welded something in the springs.
Yeah, they've made it so you can't use it.
Right.
They don't want you using these traps anymore.
Finally, I found a real bear trap. It was an old blacksmith-made bear trap. A lot of people that have cabins, that's just such a big, impressive thing. It's a cool thing.
Piece of history.
What do these sell for?
They're generally about $400 or so.
In this condition?
In that condition.
Because it's pretty rusty, right?
Yep.
What do you need out of this?
I'd like $250, but you can have it for $200. That's what I got invested in it, so.
You know, I've been looking for a bear trap all over Canada. Yeah, shake the man's hand.
Yeah.
200 it is.
This is great.
This is some good picking.
Best picking we've had so far.
Yeah. We could stay here picking all night if we can.
Oh, Delco batteries.
Yeah, that's a battery stand. Comes all apart. It's a really cool piece.
That would have sat in a service station, probably in the 1960s.
Great display piece for guys that have oil bottles and cans and all that stuff.
Any guy that's tried to put together a service station display or a gas station display will want that piece for his collection. What do you need out of that?
I need $100 out of it. And all the pieces are right there for it.
Done. Is that a Massey?
No, I don't think it's Massey.
There are a lot of people that buy tractor seats. They'll weld a piece of metal to the bottom of them and use them as bar stools. Never have any trouble selling a good tractor seat.
What did you want for all these seats?
There's 6 seats there, I think, altogether. $300 for the 6.
Several weeks ago, we were at a pick, and the guy wanted $300 for one seat.
Shake the man's hand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The guys are welcome to come back anytime.
That's your new lucky hat, isn't it?
Yep.
Brand spanking new.
We've been doing well, but I think we better get this packed up and get on the road before it's too dark.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah, so this is a homemader.
It's just a wall hanger anyhow at this point, so.
It's a pretty seat. Okay. We can use it as a rack to put some of our items on for our next sale, and we can put a price tag on it.
I guess with the white hat, you guys loaded, I've been picked.
Yeah, you've been picked. This made the whole trip for us, this pick.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Tim, you look good in that cowboy hat.
Well, I gotta look good in something. Take care.
See you later. When you give a white hat to a guy, you're giving him an invitation to come to Calgary to visit the city.
I agree. The good guys always wear a white hat.
At least they do in the movies, anyway.
I was gonna bring a black hat for you.
I've got a black hat.
I know. I think it was Prince Charles they white hatted about 5 times. He arrived in Calgary one day and they gave him a white hat and he said, "No, God, not another white hat."
He's a bad pick anyway.
Yeah. It's got some good stuff. He just won't sell.